Welcome everybody to a very exciting video. I recently got accepted into the Sonic Rumble Creators Program, so I got early access to the Steam port of this game, and I'm particularly happy to be recording this because there is a brand new event that completely surprised everybody in the Creators Discord. We had no idea a crossover like this was on the table, especially this early. So early, in fact, that the game isn't even out yet. You've heard of Sonic Rumble, but have you heard of Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble? Here's our main event of the day, AiAi. He's got his brand new design from the latest Monkey Ball, and look how well he's rigged. He's adorable, doing all these little competitive emotes. Look at that little finger point. He's the highest rarity of character you can get in this entire event, and because of that, he comes with his very own exclusive emote, the Spin Dash. Not to be confused with the Spin Dash from Sonic Hedgehog. Now, the interesting thing about Spin Dash is that it is one of 3 emotes so far that have competitive use. Every other emote is completely cosmetic, it's just for fun, it's stuff like sleeping or waving, but there is an emote called the Baseball Dash that every player unlocks. Basically, it is a quick burst that shoots you forward for a time. Pretty much everybody plays with this because you can get across gaps, you can get out of the way of things faster, etc, etc, and AiAi Spin Dash is basically that exact thing, but it goes a further distance, and it actually knocks other players out of the way. So for all intents and purposes, AiAi is the best character in this game. But we don't just have AiAi, we have the Werewolf from Altered Beast, the Weredragon from Altered Beast, which I love a lot actually. We got Opa-Opa and Opa-Opa from Fantasy Zone. I won't lie, I'm not particularly familiar with these games, but like, look how stubby he is, dude. He's rigged to do all of the humanoid emotes with just his little round body. And look how huge the werewolf is. I think he actually towers over both Big and Zavok. I think Werewolf and Weredragon are the biggest characters in this game, and it's really funny because they are just buff furries. They do not fit in with the furry stylization of Sonic at all, and I think it's really funny, actually. I think Weredragon actually looks super cool. Like, a super sleeper hit, dude, and they're really charming when they smile and do these really friendly, welcoming emotes. Look at him, he's just stretching. He's not a beast. He, like, doesn't even fit in frame half the time. But for now, I'm going to stick with AiAi, and you actually get him at grade 6, which is really high right off the bat. Look at that. Only 4 level ups, and now I've completely maxed out AiAi. And maxing out your characters is actually good because you get more slots for point bonuses with your buddies and your emotes and your stickers. My main is usually Camper Knuckles. I'd like to give a quick reminder that you can still wishlist this game, and you're probably going to want to, because we are in the final stretch of unlocking a free Movie Sonic skin for everybody. Movie Sonic has like 3 times the amount of detail that any other Sonic skin has on him. Mathematically, based on the way this is scaling, I think we're gonna have to get 1.2 million wishlists, and thankfully Sonic Rumble actually confirmed that we hit the 1 million mark. So, I'd like to start us off with some gameplay. I plan to get a big dub with pretty much all of the major characters here, and because I am in the Sonic Rumble Creators Program, I got all of this for free. This is not a hashtag ad or anything like that. I'm just having a lot of fun with this game, and I always plan to make videos about it, and I just happen to have the privilege to be able to show off all these event items right off the bat. So I hate this level. It really annoys me because I just want to go forward, man. I want to go fast, but thankfully I have the little spin dash available to me. Like, how nostalgic is that, seeing AiAi roll in the ball downhill and gain momentum, dude? That's straight out of Monkey Ball. Oh, it's so fun. I don't actually hate this level. It is pretty fun. It's just if you hit the ice beam, you'll get turned into an ice cube, and then people can homing attack your ice cube and just like shoot you off the level. It can be very frustrating if you are stuck like that. Now, one of the things you want to do is you want to get lots of rings, so anytime you see a detour with enemies or balloons or destructibles, always get it. Especially if balloons have a chance to give you an item like the Magnesis, because that was an obscene amount of rings I got for absolutely nothing. Okay, great. Now, one thing that you want to do, actually, is when you get your homing attack power, you want to utilize it like this. You want to hold on to it. A lot of people like to immediately burn it, but that's actually very dangerous because people will want to retaliate immediately. If two people have that ability, it's kind of like a mutual trust. Like, if you don't use it, I won't use it. We're cool, man. We're cool. But you can use it from very far distances, and as you saw, I flung myself all the way across that gap. Now, on to round 2. I love this stage. I actually love pretty much any of the Pinball Carnival stages from Superstars. The music's great, and the minigames are really fun, dude. There's something extremely addicting about hitting these, like, balls. I don't really know what these were supposed to be. But, like, look at this, dude. Like, you just get sent back and forth, and there is actually a crazy strategy for this level that involves another emote. We're going to see that in here in a second. So what you want to do is you want to get into these tubes as often as you can, because this just spams you with plus 200, and in a section like this, every time you hit one of these balls, they're going to disappear, but if you use the bubble, they will reappear, and you can farm multiple before you inevitably fall down and hit that spring, which, you know, sends you back to here where everybody else is. Power-ups do spawn in this level as well, so if you're not careful, people will be able to hit you and you'll lose like anywhere between, I think, 100 and 300 points. Obviously, if you hit the Eggman balls, you lose, I think, like 50 points. It's very annoying, and your momentum's all over the place, so you really have to be reaction-based in this game, which is something I really love about Rumble. And look at that, you just use the bubble and wait for the tube to open back up, and then there we go. Yellow, I believe, is the number 2 best color you get here, purple being the best, because when you hit purple, it turns into gold, and then, you know, you get multiple hits. And look at that, dude. Bubble just does my taxes for me. I don't even have to play at this point. I can just position myself in front of the tube. Easy S rank, just like that. This level is just the dopamine factory, man. Sky Sanctuary, Ring Battle 2. I love that when you are in the lead, it actually makes a point to show you there. It makes me feel proud. It also puts a target on your back, which adds stakes to the game, which I think is very fun. Now what you want to do is you want to stay right in the middle here because you're always positioned to hit that, like, 3 rows of rings right off the bat. A technique that you can do is utilize your double jump, because if you keep hitting the white clowns, you're going to be bouncing high vertically, but if you use double jump, you can, you know, move left and right a little bit quicker. Don't spam it too often, though, because you can just, like, move really slowly in that case. The number 1 thing you want to do here is hit the gold chest so that you have a bargaining chip, aka your homing attack, so other people don't hit you. Also, so you can ruin their day and be really annoying, which is something I love doing in this game. It's my thing. But another thing you want to do with this minigame specifically is look for the rainbow clouds. You want to hit these so you can hit the death egg. And if you're really lucky, you can use the momentum from your homing attack on somebody else while they're traveling upwards, and you can get another cheeky hit on the death egg. And there's a lot of chaos here. Every single one of these gold chests has the homing attack in it. So if you see another person near it, you gotta be very careful. Hey, look at that! There was a guy coming up. I homing attacked them. I didn't get another hit on the death egg, but it was funny. So, I'll take it. I love Sailor Tails, dude. I'm not much of a Tails fan or a Tails player, but that is a cute, cute outfit with a great palette. So here we are on Opa-Opa now, and he has a special running animation where he loses his legs and he just has his wings, like the actual game. And the buddy we have is also from Fantasy Zone. I believe he's an enemy. I didn't actually play the game. I just think he's like a shmup enemy or something? I don't know. I also think it's really funny that you see the Altered Beast characters in the back cheering on and being very sportsmanlike. And here we are again with the little pop-up at the beginning. I love seeing other people with rare skins. It's really sick highlighting people that, like, have grinded the game enough to get that kind of stuff. It lets you know what kind of people you're going to be dealing with in said lobby. Also, this is a special game mode where you are boosting all the time. So I am not going to be utilizing things like the baseball slide because you already move super fast. And because we're moving fast, you'll notice Opa-Opa never has his legs. He's always using his wings. And I just think He's just the silliest character in this game, because every time you do an emote, he will try and mimic the exact position everybody else will do, except of course he has no limbs. So it's funny seeing him with even less limbs. Yeah, so this mode is actually really fun, because this feels more like a 3D Sonic game with the amount of speed you're dealing with. Base rumble is actually pretty slow, which is why I appreciate things like the baseball slide. It's slow, but it doesn't control bad or anything. Oh, that's another technique I use there. You can actually use your homing attack when no one's around to basically get a free air dash. And I use that to secure first place. Look at... Oh wait, this is Opa-Opa, my bad. Look at Opa-Opa next to all these Sonic characters, dude. I just love the clash of design. It's really fun. And technically it makes sense in the lore of Sonic Rumble because it's essentially just Eggman playing with toys. I also love that everybody has an opportunity to share off their rare stickers in between matches. The Death Egg Robot. This is really fun. Also, you'll notice there's a little SEGA collectible on the map right now. This is exclusive to this event. Every time you get a little SEGA logo, you can use it in the event shop, where you can basically gamble a 1 in 5 chance to get some really good items every day. And basically, the more points you get on that shop, you can unlock special profile pictures for Altered Beast, Fantasy Zone, and of course, Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Sounds like an ad, but it's really not. I just like Monkey Ball. If you watch my Sonic merch video where I talk about how hard it is to get figures nowadays, I actually had a whole segment dedicated to how cute I think AiAi is, and I was throwing his little monkey ball around. I don't know. I just think SEGA characters are heavily underrated, man. Oh yeah, you do have Spin Dash in this level. If you are cheeky, you can hit people off the edge with that. Look at him spinning. Now, this is one of the most stressful mini-games in the entire game, in my opinion, because when you are ahead, you are always ahead. It is so easy to screw over other people, which means it's easy for them to screw you over, so it's always about getting the lead. Also, because we are still on the boost game mode, platforming is actually a little bit more difficult because you're going to overshoot your momentum and your jumps. Now, a lot of people are kind of like worried right now, so they're going for the middle and the bottom route just to play it safe, but I'm going for the top route because you can get an easy like 1,000 rings just by doing this. It's insanely busted, and it's basically insurance that you will win if nobody else gets them, especially if you are already doing well on the leaderboard. So, the 50 rings, they spawn in areas where you can only reach with those aerial springs. They are in the foreground, and all of the gold rings are here in the background, the 100 rings, I mean to say. This is another one of those levels where you really want to keep track of who has the homing attack, because, you know, as you saw there, I hit somebody that had it, and then they hit me back immediately. You have to be very, very careful. There's like an unspoken rule of respect when people have the homing attack. And you gotta be really careful because this giant chopper will, I think, take like 500 points away from you. So your timing has to be immaculate when switching between the foreground and the background. Because if you spend too much time in the foreground, you're not gonna get enough of the 100 rings. And if you spend too much time in the background, you're either gonna get hit by the chopper or you're not gonna get anything because people are getting all the other rings around you. Homing attacks are so effective on this stage too, because it's such a small platform, people are in clusters, and you can easily like hit multiple people at once. Damn, Shadow Nation just wasn't strong enough, bro. Little round boy with 2 legs and nothing else beat out Shadow Nation. Ooh, interesting. Opa-Opa Nation stocks up. And would this truly be the SEGA crossover event if I didn't show one of the characters from Altered Beast? Ah, man, look at that. 3 legendaries in the lobby, and yet none of them are gonna stand up to the might of Weredragon. Wow, Weredragon looks so cool with, like, the amount of bulk he has compared to literally every other character. You can actually see a head there. I think someone's playing Dr. Eggman, MD. Eggman, Big, Vector, and Zavok are the biggest characters before the SEGA event. Weredragon, I think, just completely towers over Eggman here. And he's got, like, a really wide wingspan as well, which helps. By the way, these slopes do have stacking momentum on them, so combining that with the boost is a little bit crazy. I don't know why, but I tried going for that other thing that I thought was a pathway, but it was actually just a background detail, and I lost some rings for it. But thankfully, due to the nature of the boost, I can jump over a lot of that stuff. Like, you would not usually have enough momentum to make those kinds of skips. Look how goofy this guy looks, trying to have a little nap like a baby, and he's just this big hulking beast. I really like using the bubble on him because, you know, he's got wings so he can kind of fly like usual. Yeah, like, look at him compared to Eggman, dude. He's towering. Eggman's like a reasonable size. Oh yeah, and then look at this guy. He's playing werewolf. So you actually get to see what they look like side by side in game. How cool is that? I didn't really plan on showing werewolf in this session just because he is the free character. So I feel like the majority of people playing this game are going to see werewolf. And in general, I just much prefer Weredragon's design. Moving on here, we have the Aqueous? I don't actually know how to say this. This is another one of my favorite minigames. Wow, it's actually kind of a theme in today's video. A lot of the minigames I've shown off are my favorites. This one's really cool, especially with boost, because your air momentum is a lot faster, which means after you homing attack this boss, you can double jump out of it and drift towards him a lot faster than usual. The strat for this is usually to break your momentum with the double jump after a homing attack, but it's so much more effective this time. Also, stay out of that zone, because if you're inside that tornado, it rapidly, like, does minus 50 rings, like, every second. So that was actually kind of risky going in there for that barrel, but it was really worth it. If you're in a situation where you can't chain double jump homing attacks on Aqueous, I don't know, always go for the straggler 100 rings that you don't see, because a lot of people are going to hyperfixate on the boss himself, because, you know, that's the objective of the mission, but these side rings really, really help. Every time you hit the boss, you're going to get anywhere between like 50 and 300 points, so if you see a straggler 100, it's not a bad trade-off. Like, look at that, only 166, plus 77. Like, technically speaking, that's not actually as good as a 100 ring, so weigh your options when you have them. Oh, look at that. 3 bats in a row. 3 Rouge-skins. Look at them praising him. He's so big, you can't even see Woolly Sonic. He's getting Mike Wazowski'd. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy Sonic Rumble when it's out. Thank you to SEGA for giving me early access to the PC version. All of the footage you've seen here today was done on a Steam Deck, and it runs at perfect 60 FPS. The battery life is great. And of course, it's so unbelievably nice that they gave me all of this event stuff for free. I have been fiending for a proper online Sonic game for a while now. I was never really into the racing genre, so I am excited for Cross Worlds, but I think Rumble is definitely more my speed, like being on ground, on foot, racing your opponents, and like precision platforming challenges. Like, this game is sick, man. It's easy to dismiss it as just a mobile game, but if you get your hands on a controller, it plays like a console game. I like to cover all Sonic content, both fan-made and official, and if you're new here, consider checking out my Sonic modding playlist, as I have a ton of videos going over that kind of stuff. And if you're here for Rumble, I plan to do plenty more as events happen and the global release happens, and I plan to share as many matches as I can in the meantime. Thanks for watching.